So what is an estuary? An estuary is a narrow, semi-enclosed coastal body of water which has a free connection with the open sea, at least intermittently, in which the salinity of the water is measurably different from the salinity in the open ocean. So now close your eyes and repeat. Tell me what an estuary is. Okay, I must admit it was a fairly long sentence, so let's try it again. Estuary is a narrow, semi-enclosed coastal body of water. And that almost explains everything. So it's a semi-enclosed, means it has a connection to the ocean, at least intermittently, but most of the time. Okay? And it's narrow. The salinity has to be different. So you go measure the salinity has to be different. And there are two options. It can be lower, and that's what we call a positive estuary. Or it can be higher. These are hypersaline, negative or inverse estuaries. Okay? So, all right. So essentially all rivers that end up in the ocean, I mean, that's all rivers end up in the ocean. That's the definition of a river. Otherwise, it would end up in maybe in an inland lake or so. I don't know. There's also rivers feeding into lakes. Okay, so all rivers ending in the open ocean are so-called positive estuaries, and the estuary itself is actually the transition zone between a poorly freshwater environment and a purely seawater environment. So we're talking about the transition zone. Okay, so inverse estuaries are dominated by evaporation. These are systems like former river systems that no longer are active, which are dominated by evaporation. They lose fresh water rather than gaining fresh water. All right, so you learned about positive and negative estuaries. Okay.